Mr. Bradley, I know this is kind of one we've been kind of wanting to do for a while, and I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with some of us.
Yeah, I think
we might get a little comments on this one.
That's okay.
Don't hate us for the comments. We're not crazy.
Don't hate us because you hate us.
This is just going to let you know who we got.
Yeah, and basically, kind of the way we are perceiving this is, from last year, what they kind of did and how they elevated their team to this year of how they will play, blah, 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 and kind of added and meshed everything together. And I guess I'll let T-Ball go first and see what you got with the top five, because you did say you would surprise me with one of the picks.
One of the picks, yeah. So,
okay.
Obviously...
Wait. You going 5 to 1 or you going 1 to 5?
Well, how do you think I should go?
I think you should go 5 to 1.
Should I go 5 to 1? Okay,
5 to 1. Let's go 5 to 1.
Okay. So... Top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL this coming season. My number 5 is coming in at Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a machine. He manages to get it done no matter who's on his team. He's a contender every year, even going against a tough San Francisco team that year.
Twice a year.
He still managed to be a playoff contender while those guys are laying in their division in the cut there. So Russell Wilson is always going to be a factor. He's young. Obviously, the money they've paid him is obviously going to speak for itself this year. I think Russell Wilson is going to be one of the best in the NFC, definitely. Top 3 in the NFC, I would definitely say. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of competition, but Russell Wilson is a guy, and he doesn't get hurt.
He doesn't. He's.
That's what you want.
He stays pretty liable. I mean, when's the last time he even did get hurt?
Right, or it would lost a tremendous amount of time.
So
he's a very dependable guy.
He's going to be in Seattle for quite a while.
If they're smart.
I think he still has at least one more Super Bowl in him. But
yeah, I mean he's 2 or 3.
As much as I hate to say it,
he's under 30, so he's got a chance.
He's got a chance. But coming in at number 4 is going to be my boy Aaron Rodgers.
Nice.
Everybody said he had a down year last year, which is crazy. He still threw for 4,000 yards. 4,000 yards.
Yeah, 400. What?
His last 9 years, he's had less than 10 interceptions a year.
Yeah. Hell, he has
so
less than 7.
So it's been 10 years since he threw over 10 fucking interceptions in a single year. He had 26 touchdowns last year and only 4 INTs.
Still had 4,000 yards.
That's just as many, touchdowns as, Patrick Mahomes, and 1 less interception than Patrick Mahomes as well. So Aaron Rodgers is still always going to be a threat. He's another one of those guys. It doesn't matter who he has on his team. He's going to be a playmaker, and he's going to make that wide out, or whoever, running back, somebody on his team, whoever he can get the ball to, he's going to make sure they get it, and they're going to become a star. It's just what he does. He builds wide receivers, and he's almost, I feel like he's almost a stepping stone for all these other wide receivers. We get these wide receivers in and we ship them off. Aaron Rodgers has got to be in the top 5.
Well, everybody's hating on him right now and just says he's not. Even NFL.com.
Well, that's the problem.
Right. And he doesn't have a defense. He doesn't have anything.
He still puts up 3,500 plus, yards every single year.
With
it
Devontae.
Doesn't matter the year. Anyways, we'll move to the number 3 guy on my list. The golden boy for the New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees. Drew Brees is coming in at number 3 on my list. 3,500 plus yards every year. Just a worker.
Has the most 5,000 yard seasons, I'm pretty sure,
dude,
as well.
It's like every other year almost. The dude has 30 plus touchdowns a season every season, and at least under 20 interceptions every season. The dude just puts up ridiculous numbers. Playoff contender every single year. Drew Brees has been...
He's dangerous.
A dangerous person since day one.
Even with the Chargers.
He's a 40-year-old.
Right, he's 41.
I mean, nobody talks about Drew Brees being over 40. Everybody just talks about Tom Brady being over 40.
Oh, he's 42, 43.
Drew Brees is a 40-year-old man who still balls. And if I was a wide receiver, I would be dying to play with Drew Brees.
Well, look at Michael Thomas. He's eating over there with that. And they even threw Jason Tatum
best wide receiver in the fucking league.
Yeah, hands down.
And that's because of Drew Brees. So I had to put him at the number 3 spot. Obviously, the number 2 is Lamar Jackson. Anybody who in his second year can put up over 3,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing, win an MVP, make the NFC Championship game, or not even that far. Still made the playoffs, but they were
Division round.
They were a good team, and
he was just young. He had no playoff experience.
As long as Lamar Jackson can stay healthy, he's going to be the number one or number two NFL quarterback in the league every single year.
Yeah, for the next 5 years at least with P. Holmes.
This guy is going to be super consistent. He's confident in what he does. He's young, super young. And he has a lot of good talent around him too. He's just a playmaker. He's fun to watch too.
Oh yeah.
He's one of these quarterbacks like we have in Patrick Mahomes where they're changing the game, and it used to be Michael Vick. Everybody wanted to be the Michael Vick, and now everybody wants to be the Russell Wilson. Then now everybody wants to be the Lamar Jackson or the Patrick Mahomes.
You're damn right.
Lamar Jackson's a trendsetter, and that's why he's got to be a number one or number two. But obviously, coming in at number one is going to be my boy Patrick Mahomes.
Of course. Undeniable.
Dude is retarded. Dude missed 2 or 3 games last year and still put up 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He is one of the greatest playmakers I've seen in a long time. Obviously, that's why he's going to be at number one. He won the Super Bowl. I would put Lamar at number one if he would have won the Super Bowl.
He was MVP.
The year before, putting up 50 fucking touchdowns. That's
in his
ridiculous.
In his literal first season. Nobody counts the one game that year before.
He still had 248 yards in that first
exactly,
game.
But the whole factor is that was his first actual fucking season in the game.
Yeah.
And he didn't even know how to read, what was it, nickel defense or whatever it was. He just came out and said,
I don't know.
He said just this year he couldn't read whatever defense that was. But sorry, I don't have the information right now. But it just blew my mind. I was like, and you're out here doing the things you're doing. So yes, number one.
Patrick Mahomes is about to create a dynasty, and he's obviously making the money that he deserves. And
yeah, $500 million.
He's gonna be in Kansas City for a long time. So as long as he can stay healthy, he's gonna be definitely a Hall of Famer in my eyes, as well as Lamar Jackson. These guys just gotta worry about their health.
That's the biggest issue here.
Making sure they produce. As long as Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson produce, they're going to be the best quarterbacks in the league every single year from here on out.
Absolutely. All right, so let's break that down again. You have...
At number 5, I have Russell Wilson. Number 4, I've got Aaron Rodgers. Number 3, I've got Drew Brees. Number 2, I've got Lamar Jackson. And coming in at number 1, I've got the Kansas City Chiefs star athlete, Patrick Mahomes.
All right, so number 5, same as you, Russell Wilson. I just the guy every single game gives it his all. It's 150%. He's never in trouble. He does things off the field. He has a great life
Quite
at home.
the family man.
But just the stats and stuff, it's not ungodly, but it's
He's
pretty
consistent.
great. Yeah, every single year he doesn't turn it over. He rarely does, if he even does. He's a great leader.
He
That's
just
what
sits
you
at number
want.
5 for me because he's a great quarterback, but he's not the guy you would, in my eyes, that you look at to step up and make a giant play.
Yeah, the big play at the end, and he just doesn't have the players, really. That's another reason why I got him at 5, is because he's got to get that respect, because he really doesn't have amazing guys on the team. Yes, he has DK Metcalf. People are going to make that whole argument, but that guy isn't some super hype number 1 pick or anything. He's no Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas type shit. We don't know yet. Right. He could be, but that's why I put him at 5, because you got to give the man respect, not because I'm a Wisconsin guy and all that stuff, but the man was just he's good and great every single year, and that division's fucking tough. Like you said, San Francisco twice a year, the Rams,
every year, yeah.
And now he's got to go against DeAndre Hopkins twice a year as well. So number 5, Russell Wilson. We're on the same wavelength. Let's go with number 4. We're the same. Aaron Rodgers.
You had Aaron at 4?
I have him at 4.
I thought you were going to have him higher.
But I just didn't want to put him up there because the age factor, he has lost some athleticism, you can tell. But, again, day in, day out, he goes out there and gets his job done, doesn't turn it over.
Sick or hurt.
Right, and he's doing what he's supposed to. He doesn't get in trouble, things like that. But he's winning ball games. They were 13-3 last year, guys, and that's a down year for the Packers. That was better than the year before, the year before, the year before,
NFC
the year before.
Championship.
With a brand new coach, a brand new GM, a brand new scheme, a whole new playbook. And Devontae Adams, minus him 4 games out of the year as well. That's his wide receiver core, and he's getting it done. 4,000 yards, like you said, 26 touchdowns, 4 picks. It's ridiculous. People don't give the guy credit.
I think because Aaron, I thought what it was at first was because Jones had such a good year.
Right.
And they're like, well, if he wouldn't have had Jones, what the fuck would he would have done?
But you got to think, Matt LaFleur, his first-year coach,
And
is a run coach. He knows how to make these running backs good.
But I was also thinking, what about the years before Jones? How do you explain those? So
Yeah.
I automatically shut down the argument in my head.
Moving on. Number 3, I had Lamar Jackson.
You had 3 at Lamar. Or
I
Lamar at 3, huh?
I have him at 3, but he's new to the game. A lot of people didn't have high hopes on him, and the Ravens got a steal out of him. Number 32 pick in the draft a couple of years ago. I just feel like he has more to grow because of the whole. I almost feel like it's because the divisional round loss in the playoffs. Like, with that team and everything he did through the regular season last year, they should have went and played the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
the Ravens.
That's what everybody thought was going to happen.
But I got to give it up to the man, and everything will make sense when I tell you number 2. But Lamar Jackson last year, 1,200 rushing yards with 3,600 passing and 36 touchdowns, only 6 picks. So number 3 he's the MVP last year. I get it. He should be 1 or 2. Everybody's gonna make the argument. Not for me. He doesn't have the playoff experience. He's still young. He needs to chill out on all the running. He did a little excess running.
Are you trying to say like it was a fluke?
No, I'm not saying it's a
fluke. Is he going to produce the same numbers next year, you think?
I think so. I think he'll have a few less rushing yards. But he's number 3 in my eyes because they just couldn't get it going in the playoffs when it really matters, really.
And you know what I was thinking is I almost didn't put him at number 2. He definitely wasn't going to be at my number 1, but I almost didn't put him at number 2 either, just for the simple fact because we're talking about coming into this next year, ladies and gentlemen, where it's gonna stand. And I started factoring in like what they did to Michael Vick and Cole Pepper and guys like that.
Another year of tape.
There's another year of tape, and they said the same thing about Patrick Mahomes. And what they're going to start doing is there's going to be one guy who quarterback spies, and he literally just stands in the middle of the field, and he just watches what Lamar Jackson does. If Lamar Jackson scrolls out to the left, he's going to the left. He goes out to the right, he goes to the right. If he comes up the middle, the guy's meeting him. They're going to start doing to that, and they're going to see Lamar Jackson is going to figure out how to overcome that and bring what he did last year into the new season. If he can do that, then like I said, he's going to stay at my number 2 spot.
Right, I got him at 3 because there's now a year of tape as well on the man. A whole year of tape to see how to shut him down. And that's ultimately what lost him the game with the Ravens game. Anyway, he had a terrible game that game.
They did, yeah.
No, he did. That's
the whole team did.
But I was
surprised on both sides of the ball.
I also feel like this year the Browns really are finally going to step up. And I think the Steelers might surprise some people and still have a little run and make that division really tough. And that's another reason why I got him at number 3. But number 2 is Drew Brees for me. The man, I'm pretty sure the last 3 or 4 years has thrown over 72% in completion on his passes. Ridiculous. And you could think about that. That's crazy and blows your mind because he throws a lot of passes.
A lot.
And you wouldn't think someone's, if you go look back on any other guy.
More than most quarterbacks.
Yeah, even
a lot more.
Well, even like Matt Ryan, go look at him. He's about the same with Drew Brees. They're pass-heavy guys, and he's not throwing no fucking 72, 73, 74%. That's incredible. Plus, he's just a fucking great quarterback. And you know what? He's 5'10", just like Russell Wilson here. And they always say short quarterbacks under 6 foot will not make it in the NFL. Look what he did. He won a Super Bowl. But I'm just saying, that team that they have is still phenomenal. Michael Thomas is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they got some good guys out of the draft. And it's Drew Brees and it's Sean Payton. It's the same system over and over and over for success. And every year they succeed.
Well, I mean, honestly, that's why Drew Brees sat at number 3 for me, because of his quote-unquote success. He keeps coming up short every year.
But he's the most 5,000-yard passer.
But I'm trying to figure out
5,000-yard passing seasons.
But I'm trying to figure out what is it that Drew Brees is not doing that's getting him.
He's clutch. Here. He's clutch. All that. It's Super Bowls. He's only had 1. That's why you got Rodgers back there.
When's the last time you even saw an NFC Championship though? That was an NFC Championship, wasn't it? Or was that the divisional?
No, that was the championship because the next game was Super Bowl for the Rams.
But before that, it's just simply, I mean, like consistency is a big thing.
They go to the playoffs though every year.
I know, but he doesn't.
That division's tough.
I know these guys. these guys are in tough divisions, but I feel like they're going to have a little easier run than these three guys.
True.
That's just my opinion.
No, well, they already got the skill set at 24, 23 years old. They're balling.
Yeah,
they're
and they're
MVPs,
young.
Super Bowl MVPs, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All right, but number one, obviously, is my boy P. Holmes. I've been speaking to him before he even went to the NFL.
I would think that would be people's number one.
It would have to be. I mean, he's Super Bowl champion. They have the same exact team, basically. Lost just a couple guys, but it wasn't offensively that's going to majorly set them back. And he's a guy that makes guys good. That's why he's number one to me. He makes players better. Who the hell knew of any of these guys besides Tyreek Hill on their team? Yeah. We knew about him. Okay, he was good in college. He's good in the pros. But he elevated his game even more, too, with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, like, good God. And you got Travis Kelce over there. And I get that the running back opted out of the season, but they have arguably the best running back out of the draft this year with their boy. And not to mention, he's just going to make them all better. And you got Andy Reid, one of the most underrated coaches of all time in my eyes. I mean, geez, he should have 4, 5, 6 rings, and he might if he just stays with this team and stays the whole time. Freaking P. Holmes is there if he's smart.
Right, he needs to ride that P. Holmes gravy train.
Oh, absolutely! I would if I was any coach ever, and I had this man in my hand. I'm like, I have the greatness of all greats, because he truly is the best quarterback over the last 2 seasons. Period. There's no one that's close.
He crushed it 2018.
He's throwing left-handed touchdown passes. He's doing all those old school things you've seen old guys do, like Brett Favre with the shovel pass. He's bringing that back, but he's got more flair and it just looks prettier. He's just an all-around perfect quarterback as long as he doesn't get hurt.
That's why I think that's why he was so
Great
successful in baseball, because he was quick.
Second.
Yeah, he's quick thinker, and he knows how to make plays happen
even when
they're starting to unfold. Yeah,
I think, but I believe that's going to be everybody's number one pick. And if it's not, I think the true thing of this whole top 5 is who's after P. Holmes. Like, who's the next guy's after P. Holmes, because P. Holmes is number one to me, and everybody, pretty much anybody on ESPN and everybody, of course, there's going to be those guys going to be, no, it's Tom Brady still, and blah, blah, blah. No, it's Dak Prescott. Why'd you leave him off the list? Because those guys don't get it done, and they're old or blah.
I was going to say some honorable mentions to Sean Watson probably could have been up there.
Yeah.
We'll see what he
could be
does
number
next
6.
year.
But I just feel like P. Holmes is going to run this league. I think he's got 4 more Super Bowls than him easily to at least go to.
All right, let's get your recap, Mr. Bradley.
Okay, Russell Wilson at number 5, just like you.
Yep.
Rodgers number 4, just like you.
Me, yep.
We flip-flopped Drew Brees and Lamar Jackson. I had Lamar at 3. You have him at 2. I had Drew Brees at number 2. You have him at 3. And, of course, we both agree, and everyone in the fucking world, if you're smart and watch anything of the XFL, P. Holmes is number 1.
That's right.
That's our top 5 quarterbacks.
Huge
of course,
waves.
Let us know what you think and tell us down below. T-Ball, take us out.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let us know who your top 5 is. Until then, keep it locked right here. We'll bring you some more right here in the Heated Waves podcast. I'm T-Ball.
And I'm Mr. Bradley. Thanks, guys, and good night.